Good morning. Happy Bank Holiday Monday. And because it's a bank holiday, the children are home. I am always ill on a bank holiday. And you may hear mowing as well, for which I apologise. Today we're looking at non-fiction. So this is something a bit more unusual. This is called Before You Let the Sun In. And it's fascinating. It's 10, I think it's 10, short glimpses into a therapeutic relationship. So it sort of talks through, the therapist talks through why the client came to them, what they discussed, what came out of those sessions, and what the sort of solutions or resolutions were. And it's really, really fascinating to see that, how different all of those scenarios can be, and how the therapist in this specialises in drama therapy, so how that process supports someone to reflect and to move forward in whichever arena they want to. Some people are very specific about what it is they want to do and talk about. Some people not so much. So there's a lovely variety in there of kind of issues people have dealt with. And how they've dealt with them. It did feel a tiny bit voyeuristic, I have to say, to kind of hear these stories, which were obviously given in a private setting. Although clearly, obviously, you can't identify anybody from it. So it's fascinating. It's beautifully done. Very, very quick reads, very short pieces. So it's an enjoyable book because it's a nice book to have with you, that you can kind of just have a quick half hour and you'll read a whole section. So intriguing and fascinating and interesting. I don't know if they particularly asked me to do it because I had 15 years in mental health recovery. I don't know, but if that wasn't the case, then that was a rather lovely fluke, because my professional background, I found it particularly interesting, and I didn't do a lot of drama therapy, so I found it really interesting to read and to sort of learn more about and see it in action. It's a really good book, insightful. It's very gentle. Obviously, some of the situations that people bring, some of the disclosures are dramatic and often very sensitive, so you need to take that into consideration, that you might be upset, I suppose, by some of the things that people say, but that isn't the intention of the book. And I didn't find it, I didn't find it sensationalist or gratuitous. I didn't feel any of the stories were in there just because they were dramatic or anything like that. So it's a very nicely, the cases have all been chosen for quite specific reasons, and you can see why each of those were given. And it's very sensitive, it's very thoughtful, and it's also very honest. So obviously the clients are very honest in their process, but also I found the therapist's point of view very interesting. One case is handed over from a friend who said, I can't deal with this person, that we're not going to work well together. So there's that honesty as well of how therapists work. And I found that really interesting. So I hope you do too. I'll show you it again because it's a rather unusual cover. It's called Before You Let the Sun In, and it's well worth a read.